Hi, my name's Katie, and this is my video for HDFS 438. So coming into this class, I didn't necessarily know what to expect or what it would entail, but I don't think I realized it would be what it was, but I learned so much. I learned about other cultures and races and ethnicities and so many different things that I was never shown to growing up because I grew up in a very small town and there wasn't much diversity, and so within that I almost feel like coming to UNR I truly learned so much more in these past 3 years than I did my whole life. Not only did I learn in this class about different people and colors, but I learned a ton about myself and who I am and my ancestors and where I came from and my family and its history through the autobiography paper. But along with that, I would say one of the main things I learned was this white privilege, and I didn't realize the extent of which I lived it every day. White privilege is simply defined by an inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequality and injustice. And within this, I go through my everyday life with this on my back, and I have this opportunity to even express that I understand I live with this, and coming into this class made me realize who I am and where I come from, and it made me want to be an advocate for these other people who don't have the same voice in a sense that I do because of my color. I think that this isn't something that should make you superior, if you'd say, but in this country, in the past, with racism and discrimination and oppression and all this stuff, it has made this country so divided. And so through this class, I do feel that I've learned so much about who I am, and I understand that I live with white privilege every day, and that just makes me want to be a voice and stand up for those who don't, and those who deserve the same rights that I do. One theory that I really looked into was the concept of white fragility. And within this, we watched a video with Osamudia James and Nancy Leong. And one of the questions that Nancy asked her was, why do you think it's so hard for white people to be so resistant to the idea of recognizing being white makes things easier? And this question kind of sat with me for a while, and I was like truly thinking about it. And Osamudia James' answer was transparency. They don't know because they haven't lived it. Oftentimes people don't care to understand. And the sad reality of that is that there's so many people in this world who can't accept that they're white and they live with this. And that's what needs to change. Is, of course, there's always going to be differences, but coming together is so important. And I think just within the first couple weeks of class, we talked about the color line and white spaces versus non-white spaces, and I've noticed that everywhere I go now, whether it's on campus or a grocery store or a restaurant or whatever the case may be, I recognize when I'm in a white space or a non-white space. And I've noticed that through this, I've been more, apparent to understanding that there's so many different people in this world. And now when I'm in a non-white space, I know what it feels like for these people every single day. We learned so much about other cultures, and throughout my family interview, I learned a lot about Asian American and the gender roles they play, and how the husbands are often the ones who come home and they're catered to by their wives, and just so many things that I almost didn't realize that I didn't know. And I was raised in a very open household, but very open gender roles as well. Certain things such as cultural appropriation, like music and hair and clothing and all of these things we adopt from other cultures to try and make them our own, but we don't have the right to do that. I've learned so much in this class, and I almost feel like a 5-minute video isn't long enough to show everything. But one main thing that I wanted to take away was developing a strong, positive identity for younger kids who are of color and don't understand who they are and where they come from and how they need to be proud of that, and take it in and share their wealth and knowledge with so many other people, because my job, I feel like, from here on out is helping others realize the importance of the fact that at the end of the day we're all human, and we can learn so much from each other whether we believe it or not.